Hello, everyone, and welcome. Well, I say welcome back. It's not welcome back to anything. It's welcome to Respawning's first ever movie-themed podcast. We haven't really got a name yet. We're thinking gamers go to the cinema.
Yeah,
or gamers go to the movies.
Working title, because we don't just game.
No.
We watch movies.
I mean, technically, it could just be a normal Respawning podcast, really.
Yeah, but this one's about...
Yes, this to be more specific, this episode is purely talking about Avengers Endgame, which we watched last night.
Yeah, so we finished technically 12 hours ago, our viewing. It depends when we post this, I suppose. But we're obviously both fresh out. It's Javier and Mike. We're usually in the PlayStation podcast, but
you'll recognise these lovely velvet voices from the PlayStation
our
pod.
Tones.
Yeah,
massive, humongous MCU fans, comic book fans.
Yeah, I think we've never really got that across because we've only done the PlayStation podcast.
Yeah.
And like even other Respawning stuff we do, we both tend to do a lot of streams on games, and it's all been very gaming focused. Like if you actually check the website, I do a lot of movie reviews, and you do a lot of Marvel stuff. So people might realise that, but if you don't realise that, basically, what we're trying to say is we're huge comic book movie nerds.
Well, so much so that last night we did the double bill. So we went in for an Infinity War about 8:30, and then Endgame started at midnight, and
it was glorious.
It's glorious. But look, honestly, this is a spoiler review. Yes. I would recommend only listening to this or watching this if you're on YouTube. Only if you've seen the film. I do go in with fresh eyes, but also don't go in and watch this if you've never seen any other MCU film before, because there will be no payoff for you here. This film is a love note, or as it were, to the fans who have been here since 2008, since Iron Man first said, "I am Iron Man."
If there is anyone listening who hasn't seen the movie, don't be stupid. Don't click videos or podcasts that say spoiler reviews for a start, which is what you would have done to get to this point. But if you are one of those people, please stop now and leave. Or listen to this, just say this. Avoiding spoilers, what Javi just said, is a love note to the fans. That's exactly what this movie is. So let it be that and go watch it completely unspoiled, because we will be talking
spoilers.
Complete spoilers, like everything. Like beginning, middle and end spoilers. So you've been warned.
If you're switching off now,
do come back after you've seen the movie.
I'll come back and see it, but I just want to say it's probably the best film I've ever watched. And I know, I watched it at midnight. I'd been working yesterday. I was probably going a bit stir crazy, and I'm best impressions of it right now. But there's so much to be talked about. So I think the best way to break it down, there are three the film is in 3 hours, and each hour is a different different thing, completely different.
Yeah, like the movies in sort of, the 3 acts that you get with every movie, but it very much feels 1 hour, hour 1, hour 2, hour 3.
Which works so well. I mean?
Yeah, it really does.
Because it's like, so this is the pace of this bit. Okay, this is good. Oh, something else happens. Oh, yeah, okay. And by the time then the next hour's over, something new's happening again to finish the film off.
Yeah.
Which is fucking amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about that sort of first hour or so, shall we? We're just kind of going to go through the movie best we remember it. If we miss anything, that's probably because we're stupid.
We're both going to go see it again tomorrow.
Yeah, we've only seen it the once.
I'll do my own written review after that. But
I think we just want to may actually be on the site already by the time this comes out.
Hopefully it will be.
Check that out.
This is more of like a raw impressions, I think, where we've literally got no notes. We're just because we've been talking about it all morning, obviously, but we wanted to just record something, because why not?
Yeah, basically this is literally fresh off our minds. So let's get on with it. Let's start at the beginning of the movie. The movie basically starts where the trailers start, with Tony Stark in space. Well, actually, no. It starts even before that. You get the clip of Hawkeye and his family.
Oh yeah.
Before you even get the Marvel opening thing, it literally opens with that scene that we've all seen in the trailer of Hawkeye teaching his daughter how to use a bow and arrow, and he just literally turns around to go run and get the arrow out of the board or whatever she goes to do, and then he turns around, she's gone. Yeah. Turns around, wife gone.
Kids
gone. Just such a good start. Like, it sets the tone so well, and then we go straight into Tony lost in space with Nebula.
Yeah.
And I think how they introduced that with a little bit of sort of fun music.
Yeah.
And those two playing the little football game.
The little game,
the little flicky football game thing. Like, very much was like, yes, it's going to be dark. It's going to be somber and depressing, but we're going to have fun
it's
with
still
it.
Marvel. What I liked about that as well, it was like that music, the song, I don't know what song it was now, but it was a kind of classic Guardians song. So it maybe was like, okay, remember the Guardians, don't forget they're part of all this as well. It kind of, instead of opening it with epic Avengers music, it was kind of like, oh, remember this is what we do kind of thing.
Yeah. So very, I kind of feel they got Tony out of space
really quickly. So they're in space. They're like, oh, obviously everyone's seen the message you recorded for Pepper. Obviously it's a little bit more extended.
Yeah, they go into it a bit more, didn't they?
Tony, even though it didn't say he's been there for a few days, but he's really lost a lot of weight.
Was it a few days? This confused me a little bit because, like you said, he looks like he's been stuck out there for weeks and weeks. Yeah. He looks so unhealthy.
Yeah, he's got no muscle. Like he looks like he's been malnourished for a very long time.
So I don't think it's a few days.
No, it must have been longer than that.
It must have been weeks he was stuck out there.
And him and Nebula, like, he's trying to kind of make Nebula not be so serious because he's dying. They said they worked out a way to get the ship back, but it didn't work. And then Captain Marvel shows up and out of nowhere,
Marvel to the rescue,
which is kind of like that's fine because they didn't have enough time to explain every. There was what I'll say is there's no time wasted. So even though it's like, Captain Marvel's come out of nowhere, she saved them. It wasn't wasted time. It wasn't. It had time to go. She got a phone call from blah, or like a pager from Nick Fury.
I do think a lot of people might find the first hour of this movie rushed. Because within the first hour, so much happens.
But at the same time, they didn't need more time on that part of the film.
No, I'm glad they did it the way they did. Because especially if you've seen the trailers, you already know that Tony gets rescued. Yeah. You already know if you've seen Captain Marvel that she's going to catch up with all the guys at base. You know what I mean? If anything, I would say that the Russos and Kevin Feige have gone out of their way to make sure you know this information before you go in, so they can just skip past it.
If you've seen Captain Marvel and where it stayed to the end credits, you knew that she was going to be at that base at some point.
So basically, she rescues Tony from space. They go back down to the Avengers headquarters. And then that's pretty much done. That's like in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
We're honestly 5 minutes into the film at this point.
So Hawkeye's family died. Nebula and Tony arrive on Earth with Captain Marvel, and
then things really get going then because then Captain Marvel's just like, right, I'm off to kill Thanos.
Yeah,
and then everyone's like, yeah, let's go do that. They find that he's used the stones again.
Yeah,
and then Cap turns around and is like, right, let's go get this son of a bitch, and bang,
Nebula,
that's when the opening credit comes up.
Nebula knew where he was because it makes sense now. Nebula's back on Earth. She's then, and the Avengers have been looking for him for a while, for however long it's been, and they didn't know where he was, but Nebula did because she knew his master plan.
Did they say how much time had passed?
I can't remember that bit.
No, I mean, again, looking at how skinny Tony was, you got to think that maybe a couple of weeks had passed. But I get the impression that it was still very fresh, really fresh. It only really just happened. So. Yeah, they've obviously been trying to find Thanos to do what? I don't know. Revert, hopefully thinking if we can get the gauntlet off him, that maybe we can reverse it or something, And basically Nebula and Captain Marvel rock up and are like, oh yeah, we can sort that out, don't worry. Basically. So at this point, we're less than 10 minutes into the movie and we're off to fight Thanos.
Everybody sat there like, what the hell is going on?
We're looking at each other like, are they really doing this? And then the next 5 minutes gets even more insane because as we land on they call it the garden, don't they?
Yeah.
The first thing that stuck out to me was Thanos in a t-shirt. So I just saw Thanos in his naff grey shirt.
Laughing, like a flannel shirt.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we got Farmer Thanos.
Farmer Thanos, but they proper did Farmer Thanos.
Yeah, they did him justice. They basically, where are the stones, yada, yada, yada. You want to turn it back, and he essentially says, I destroyed them. That would make sense because they knew that he'd used the stones. That's how they found him.
So he used the stones to destroy the stones.
And it almost killed him. He's fucked now. If you think he looked fucked at the end of Infinity War.
He's even worse. Basically half his body is blackened, isn't it?
Yeah, and he can barely walk.
Yeah.
He's a broken man compared to what he was. He's happy. He's
Titan.
Broken Titan, yeah. He's a broken Titan. He's a shell of his former Titan. And he's... Although he's weak, he's happy. Like, he's achieved what he wanted to achieve, and he's, like, weirdly at peace.
Yeah.
And he's won.
Yeah.
He knows it. But Thor ain't happy. And expresses that by chopping his head off.
And that's it. They open up in the first sort of 10 minutes. They've killed Thanos.
That was mental. Who would have thought after
all this
3 hours or 2.5 hour epic that was Infinity War?
Yeah.
Just trying to stop the unstoppable Thanos.
Yeah.
And then they've literally done it in the first 10 minutes of this movie. Thanos is not just dead, but head chopped clean off, arm chopped clean off. Like, I remember, like, because at first they chop his arm off, don't they, to get the glove, and then realise, it's got no stones in it. And at this point, we're looking at each other like, they just chop his arm off. Like, what? Thanos is just... And then literally Thor's just got this, like, depressed, like...
Oh, yeah, he's
he's
not
gone.
himself, yeah.
Oh, God, you can tell he's, like, barely spoke a word. That bit you see in the trailer where he... catches the axe behind Captain Marvel's head. I was like, I like this one. It's barely the only word he has said.
Yeah.
Since Infinity War, I get the impression. So basically, he then just sees red. Especially when Nebula says, like, he says, I destroyed the stones. Nebula says, yeah. Basically, he's not a liar. It's the truth.
Yeah.
And then Thor just sees red and
chops his head off.
Yeah. He said, should have gone for the head.
Yeah.
He did go for the head.
Yeah, he went for the head this time round.
Mental. First 10 minutes of the movie, Thanos is dead, and then I think it was a ballsy move to then go to black, and then come up with very slowly 5, and then we're all there going like 5 years later. I thought that was great, because the first bit of the movie is just like bang, 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 and then 5 years later, and everyone's changed. You literally come back and like not one character's the same.
No,
apart from probably Captain America's the only one who's doesn't seem to have changed. In 5 years.
Because I think the only thing you'll say about him, he's already been through this, because he got ripped out of his timeline, and he's kind of been through this whole readjusting to a new world, and I think that's the reason why he's a bit more stable than the others. He's still upset, like, so basically comes back and Cap is doing like a kind of it's like an AA meeting, but for people that survived the dusting.
With Anthony Russo. That was so good.
Having another cameo.
What a cameo.
And like, so they're all like, life. But what the weird thing is, it does some shots of like New York, and even though half the population survived, it seems like no one could cope with it, because they were like, everything's fucked. There's no football team. There's piled up with cars everywhere. Like, the buildings looks destroyed.
Yeah, like everything looks abandoned. Yeah, and like it just seems like the world's been shot into chaos.
Yeah,
and like literally civilization could not hold with half of them gone.
Yeah,
which would make sense.
Yeah,
because what if half the people went and the majority of those were doctors?
Yeah, because
you don't pick and choose who goes. It's just
but
random.
Also, if you lost like 70% of your family, you're not going to be happy 5 years later.
So I wonder how many people, went as far as to, like, as dark as it is, like, commit suicide and shit, because they've lost,
everyone.
It's just, the whole thing's just dark and horrible, and it's like, oh, fuck So, and then even then, as they go through, like, what all the heroes are doing, you've got basically Black Widow's a mess.
Yeah.
She's trying to just keep some sort of order. She's trying to sort of track down Barton.
Yeah, she's got like a hologram kind of chatty thing with all the other heroes that are left, who are monitoring different things, but it seems like there's not much to really monitor, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the impression I get, was that they're all sort of trying to do the Avengers thing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to avenge.
No.
You know what I mean? They're just there like, it's become their day job.
Yeah.
And they have basically no goal, no hope. That is until a dirty little rat climbs on a certain van and presses a certain button, and out pops Scott Lang.
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, the world gets saved because a rat stepped on a switch.
Yeah. If that rat never stepped on that switch, then that would have been it.
Yeah.
So basically, you're listening to this, you've seen the film. Yeah. Ant-Man kind of is the key to all of this, which we kind of expected.
Yeah, we did. We've said before to each other, at least, that it's going to be time travel because of the quantum realm, and it is. He comes out and he goes, right, I've been in there for like 5 hours or 5 seconds, I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
5 hours, I think it was, and but 5 years have passed in the real world. And he finds the Avengers.
And he gets obsessed, doesn't he?
Yeah.
With thinking this means something.
Yeah.
Like if this is the way that time works in the quantum realm, we can utilize this in a way. That becomes his sort of like obsession, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So when he brings that up to Cap and Co, they obviously think we can't do this without the help of Tony.
But just before that, there's a really good emotional scene with Cassie where Cassie is aged 5 years, but Scott hasn't.
Yeah.
He finds her again, and it's just like,
there's so many,
so
many moments
heartwarming and sad. Like, he's just like, he doesn't even know what to think, and it's just so well done. It really, because obviously the two films, the Ant-Man films, are really about Ant-Man and Cassie's relationship. So now the fact that she's like, like a teenage girl, it's just like, what?
Yeah,
and, he's like really like he can't comprehend it. But at the same time, he's really happy to see her.
Yeah, it's a mixture of emotions in it. Of like, part of him's so happy to see her because she could have easily been dead, but also like he must be devastated because he's missed some of the best years of her life.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of is that mixed emotion,
Yeah.
So then he gets obsessed with trying to work out this time travel thing, and the other guys don't really understand it. The other guys being like Captain America, Black Widow. War Machine's still there, isn't he? Captain Marvel's fucked off at this point, which is something she tends to like to do.
Yeah,
she's like,
just comes and goes as she pleases.
Yeah, she's like, people. I tell you what, these other planets must be absolutely fucking useless because she's just like, they won't leave my house.
They haven't got the Avengers.
Yeah, basically. So she ain't there, but basically the ones that are left are, but no Tony. But they think they need to go find Tony to see if they can figure out what Ant-Man's going on about. And then we were saying about characters that have changed a lot in the past 5 years. Tony is a massive one. He's put on weight again since he lost all that weight.
Yeah, he's got back to normal.
And he has a little girl.
Yeah.
He has a little family. So it's interesting that whereas Thanos' snap seemed to take away pretty much everything for most people, it seemed to actually give Tony something, which I thought was a kind of nice.
And he's like, I mean, he's clearly kind of retired from the hero thing because he's not out there using his genius and money to mend the broken world. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. That's what I kind of thought is he's just retired to a log cabin with his wife and daughter.
If anything, Thanos goes on about when he does the snap that people should thrive, or humanity should thrive, having lost half of them. Tony does, in fairness. He actually does take advantage of this, whether or not that's on purpose or not, or just the way the sort of where the way the cards fell. It is what it is, and Tony actually doesn't want to go help them because he's got a good life.
Yeah,
Pepper survived the snap. They've had a child, and when they basically the Avengers come asking, look, Tony, we need your help. He essentially tells them to fuck off, especially when he realizes that Ant-Man's time heist, as it's called, is based off Back to the Future.
They need someone. They need someone who can properly think about how to perform it and everything else.
Yeah. So he basically turns him down, says it ain't gonna happen. Says he's happy, and then he's later on doing the dishes. Yeah. And I thought it was a really cool shot how they had it looked like he was looking at the picture of his dad.
Yeah.
Because there's a picture of his father up in the kitchen, and he reaches for it, and you realise there's a picture behind that.
Yeah.
And it's of Peter Parker, himself and Peter, and you realise, shit, it's not so perfect for him.
No.
And even though you're thinking, he's got a nice life here, look, he's got a daughter now, he's got a happy family, you then just go, as soon as you look at that picture of Peter Parker, you're straight back to the end of the
you are.
Yeah. And you've got that gut punch again of like, shit, he has lost a lot as well. So then he figures out time travel in about 10 minutes.
I mean, because then it kind of skips on. There's some really funny. Oh no! What we forgot was something really important.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah. So after this, the remaining Avengers, are like, we need someone else who's intelligent. So I know we're going to talk to Bruce. And obviously, in my mind, I was like, yeah, of course. Like, why haven't they spoken to Bruce already?
Yeah, because he's there at the right beginning, isn't he? Yeah.
So I was like, of course you've got to go speak to Bruce.
And speaking of characters who have changed over the 5 years,
they fucking done Intelligent Hulk. So I don't know what it's called. It's it's basically, I think in the comics at one point it was Grey Hulk when he was intelligent. I think it might. Anyway,
it's the MCU tend to like do their own versions. Of these things, don't they? The same way with like they did their own version of Planet Hulk with Ragnarok, essentially, didn't they? Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I know it's been done, but they did it. It was Hulk, but Bruce Banner. So he had all of Bruce Banner's brain power, but he was Hulk.
He was in the body of Hulk, and
And
it
it's
was just the perfect
amazing.
mixture of the two,
Yeah.
and it just works so well. It was hilarious. And the first time you see him, he's taking pictures with kids. He's taking the piss out of Ant-Man that the kids don't want to take pictures of him, and he's jokey, he's smart, he's Hulk, but Bruce, he's like totally Hulk, but also like totally Bruce.
He really is. It's like facial like expressions, and everything.
Oh, so good.
It's so good because they're like, right, okay, so Hulk's not in Infinity War at all. I know, we'll put him in this entire movie.
This did make me think though, like that I've actually seen a massive spoiler and didn't click.
What?
There's been, they released the images of the characters in their costumes, and you've got Hulk in his grey suit.
Yeah.
Look back at that; he's proper got Bruce Banner's face. And at the time, like, 'cause I see that poster every day. It's outside the shop that I go past on the way to work, and like, I always look at that and go, "Oh, they've really made the effort to put Bruce Banner's face into Hulk this time around."
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's why, because
he
he's
is
Hulk.
Bruce
He is
Hulk.
Bruce. Yeah.
Broke.
He's broke. So
I know.
I thought it was maybe a risky move, and I don't think anyone won't like this.
No,
I think it's just
so
so
good.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It just works.
He's really funny because he's really funny with it, which we'll talk about in a minute. But there's a couple of really good moments where he's like, this and that. So anyway, obviously, so then Black Widow and Cap are like, right, we've got a solution. We can time travel. Is time travel difficult? He's like, yeah, but we'll give it a go because Tony said no. So they go back to base. There's a really funny scene where Ant-Man's giving it a go, and he keeps aging and de-aging every time he goes in and comes back out. So he
that was good.
turns into a kid, then an old man, and then a baby. It's really funny because they don't know how to control time travel in it. And basically Tony pulls up, obviously, and goes, oh yeah, funny thing about time travel, it can travel through you, sort of thing, instead of you travelling through it.
I like how, when Tony turns up, he's basically like, God, guys, you've been doing this all wrong. I knew you'd do this, you know what I mean? He very much like, okay, comes in with the solution straight away, doesn't he?
And he's like, I've got a solution.
But we need a team.
And then there's a bit of a funny scene with like Ant-Man and Hulk where Ant-Man like loses all his food because Rocket's ship lands and blows all his taco out.
Oh, his taco, that was so good.
And Hulk's got like 2 for some reason. And it's so like, it's really funny and really cute.
I forgot about that. That's what he's just there, like he's spending ages filling his taco, and the ship just lands and blows it all out.
So good.
No.
And then you have Rocket, and Nebula, I don't know where they've been. They've been off planet. They're back now.
I suppose they've just been doing the Guardian stuff.
Yeah, Guardian stuff, yeah.
Again, sort of similar problem with the Avengers back on Earth. There's just nothing to avenge. They're probably going around trying to protect the galaxy, doing the job of the Guardians, but just the two of them. And just a bit depressing, isn't it?
I guess even the bad guys got affected by this.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, everyone, it's just depressing. So I'm getting all sad thinking about it.
Yeah, I know.
So they obviously then decide they need a team, didn't they?
Yes.
To be able to do the time travel thing.
Yeah.
They're starting to put together the plan now. Everything's starting to come together. You're sort of realising, right,
and it's worth saying it's been relatively serious, quite apart from a couple of little jokes. It's been very serious up until this point.
I don't know. I think from when you introduce Smart Hulk, the tone takes a turn to being funny again.
More comedic. It could have been a lot more serious for the tone of the entire film, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, and I thought it was going to be 3 hours of darkness and depressing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was, as soon as basically the 5 years passes, you come back after the 5 years, you think, oh fuck, everyone's in a bad way.
Yeah.
But then as everyone starts to get back together again, it's just like old mates getting back
together. It picks up that old MCU dramatic comedic vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So they decide that they need to get the team back together, the ones that are left. So, given that they're all there but one person, it's time to go find Thor. Now, this, I think, might split some people, but if you are one of the people who don't like the direction they've taken with Thor, then we can't be friends. Because Fat Thor is maybe my favourite thing I have ever seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, the fact that when they get to New Asgard, which, by the way, entering New Asgard with Hulk, like, sat in the back of that truck, sort of, like, cross-legged.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Hulk's, like, sat with his knees up in the back of the truck with Rocket, travelling to New Asgard, which is, like, a little fishing village. Like,
where all the remaining Asgardians, who are now, what? You got to say a quarter of the Asgardians?
It's, like, hardly anyone.
Half of them died anyway in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And now another half.
And then they got half by Thanos,
so,
I think because they got killed in the ship as well.
Yeah.
The more would have disappeared in a snap.
There's literally like
Yeah.
a handful of them left
Yeah.
at this point. But the ones that are left are living on New Asgard,
Yeah.
which is meant to be ran by Thor, but people only see him once a month when he comes for beer.
Yeah. And Tessa Thompson's there, like, working the docks.
Which was a great little reveal when she just turns up.
Yeah, she's
it
like
gets to the
casually
dock, she's
there.
like, oh, hi. And the whole cinema was
But
like,
they're so good at that because, like, they don't need to make a big deal out of every entrance. It's just like, oh, hey. And, like, Hulk goes, oh, hey, angry girl. And it's just like, they just can put this in.
Straight away,
and
yeah.
you don't have to make it like, oh, my God, it's Valkyrie. It's such a big deal.
Well, I think it was really smart by having Hulk be the one who was hey, Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Because straight away you're transported back to Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And to their sort of...
And then she's like, oh,
chemistry.
I think I preferred you either way, the other ways. And it's just so casual. It's just so well done.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really was. And then we go see Thor.
Yeah.
And he's there, shirt off, tits out, belly out.
And
he's put on a shit ton
fucking
of weight.
fat.
His hair's grown back out. His beard's grown out. He looks like me. And first ever time, like I said, I look like Thor.
Yeah.
And he's playing Fortnite with Korg.
With Korg, yeah, and Meek.
And it's just so good.
It's so good.
A part of me, I think if you had told me that, like, if you said to me, okay, Thor's going to be fat. Thor's going to be fat. Thor's going to be fat. He's going to be playing Fortnite with Korg. Yeah, I'd have probably been like, what are they fucking thinking?
Yeah,
but it's handled so well.
It
and it's so, like, a part of me, I've got to be honest, a part of me was sort of thinking, I'm not sure if I want to like this.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that scene starts playing, I was like, oh, fuck me, I love it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I can't not love it. It's just done so well.
But it's, like I said, it's a very dark humour because Thor's really, really affected by the fact that he didn't kill Thanos in Infinity War.
Yeah, we're laughing about it, but then, like, when he actually starts getting into his reasons and starts talking about, what's got him down, and it is, like, the fact that he's lost Loki, he's lost his whole family, and now he blames himself for not killing Thanos and for not being able to save the world. And he's gone into a deep downward spiral of drinking and playing video games, which happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it does. I can completely relate to that.
And, it's although it's funny, you kind of feel like we're all laughing along to make him feel better in a weird way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this film gets done really well, is that it is funny and the whole cinema can laugh, but it's all rooted in horribleness, in darkness, and sort of like we're laughing along, but really we know that the stakes are way higher, and this, it is all coming from a dark place. And Fat Thor is sort of the picture of that in a way. And I thought, like, how are they going to get around this? Like you said, you reckon like when he picks up his hammer, he'll just go back to being muscly or whatever. But he doesn't. They stick with him being chunky the whole way through.
It's kind of like the best way for a comic book fan. I think it's probably the closest they'll get to King Thor. Which is like a future Thor after Odin dies. And obviously Odin is dead now. That they'll get. Like, it was basically King Thor. He's fat, he's got a long bass beard, long hair.
I love the long beard.
I've just got Stormbreaker as his main weapon, which he only uses as to take off bottle caps.
Yeah.
It's like it's just a bottle opener.
I love it when they're online playing Fortnite and that kid starts giving Korg shit. Korg gives him the headset and he's like, oh, this is Thor, God of Thunder, don't make me come over there. And he's literally been like, he just now threatens little kids online, basically. It's like all he's got left. And it's like, again, you say that, and it's like, oh, that's depressing as fuck, but it's funny.
It's really funny.
So, they basically convinced Thor to come back based on the fact they've got beer.
We've got beer. We've got beer on the ship. And I think it's obviously because Thor knows now they've got a chance to go back in time and resolve it. Then that's fine. So they go back. Everyone's then Thor has just great moment after great moment. Like, he does a little speech where he's like, they ask him to explain what, because they decide they need to go back and get the Infinity Stones. They've only got
like we said, the plan is to heist or like steal the stones from a previous timeline at different points.
Yeah. So get the stones at the best time possible, and they've only got one shot to get there and back because there's a limited amount of Pym particles. Because obviously Hank Pym's dead, Ant-Man's only got what he's got, so they've got to go back.
A tight as fuck plan, basically.
And then so they're like, okay, what do we know about the stones? So Thor has obviously Thor's the only one who really knows about the reality stone from the Dark World. So he's like, oh, hey, yeah. He's like drinking. He's like, well,
doing
there's a stone. Well, it's not really a stone. It's more of a liquid form.
It's like red goo.
angry goo.
And then like Jay comes up on the screen. He's like, oh, that's Jay.
Yeah, we were dating once. And he's like, oh, the stone went into her. She went into
stops
it.
to crack open a beer.
And then they try and finish him. And he's like, no, I'm not done.
Yeah. He's trying to get him to sit back down. And no. Oh, it's so good.
It's just brilliant. Like this whole interaction where he's a completely different person, but clearly broken.
So they've got their plan.
Yeah, they got their plan, and they know they got to go back in time. And they realise that at one point, in New York, they had the scepter, the time stone, and the tesseract. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got the space stone, the mind stone, and the time stone. All in one place at one time during the battle.
Not the mind. Which one is it? Because the
mind stone's in the scepter. Mind stone's in the scepter. Space stone's in the tesseract. Time stones.
Oh, because Vision doesn't exist yet.
Yeah. So they know that at that one point during the Battle of New York is a brilliant time to go back because there's 3 stones in one city at one time.
And what they get to do, even though they don't really do that much of the battle again, they get to go back and revisit the joy of the first Avengers movie.
It's like a behind the scenes look at the first Avengers movie. So you see all the iconic scenes play out of like you literally. What I love is you get that spinning shot again. Yeah. Like they leave it untouched. You just get it again. And like it is basically as soon as they start to go back in time, it becomes a celebration of the 22 movies you've had before.
It does.
And it's done so well. I mean, a cynic might go, oh, it's lazy, they're just telling the same story. They're not.
So different.
They're going over and they're revisiting everything, and it's just at this point on, it is a celebration of everything that's come before. And yeah, we go off to New York.
So we have the team is Hulk, Iron Man, Cap, and Ant-Man. Yeah.
Doing
New York. This New York.
So let's tackle New. Okay.
Yeah, but do what
they jump between the 3 heists.
Yes.
But let's just stick with one heist at a time.
Yeah,
I think we're going to get very confused.
So we've got. Well, we'll do the. So what there are.
So let's do New York. Let's do New York.
Yeah, let's just go. Okay.
So the New York team we've just said are trying to get those 3 stones we just said, and during it all you get to, like I say, you get to see the spinny scene again, but then afterwards you get all the iconic scenes from the first Avengers, but then you get to see what happens just after. And it's fucking brilliant.
It's so good.
Like the bit where they find, so they're all spying on like the battle happening, and they say, okay, they've beat Loki now, and they're like, okay, right, we've defeated Loki now, and then you see them all stand over Loki in that iconic scene where they're all standing over and posing, and then it's almost like it's almost like the cameras have stopped and they've all gone, oh, that was good, wasn't it? You get to see what happens just after. You get to see all the.
Like, I might say something. Oh, let's stop posing now. Or something
he does mention it. It's like, all right, come on, quit the posing. Something like that. And he And you basically get to see all the boring stuff that you would never see in a movie. Like, okay, let's ship the Tesseract out of here. Let's find somewhere for the scepter. Let's get all the S.H.I.E.L.D. guys in who they don't know are Hydra at this point. And it's brilliant when all the Hydra guys come in. Obviously, at this point, still S.H.I.E.L.D. Ant-Man asks Iron Man, oh, who are those? And he's like, oh, they're S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Well, technically Hydra agents, but we don't know yet. But that's another story for another time. And Ant-Man's like, what, you didn't know? I mean, they look like bad guys. It's so good.
It's so good.
Ant-Man and Iron Man attempt to steal back the Tesseract to get the Space Stone. And there's one point where, back in the Avengers timeline, essentially, Iron Man's arguing with one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, who it was now, and...
No, it's General... Oh, boy.
Oh, from Winter Soldier,
Winter Soldier, the bad guy from Winter Soldier. I can't remember his bloody name now.
Yeah, God, we'll call ourselves fans.
I know.
They're arguing over that, and essentially the plan is for Ant-Man to crawl in old Tony to give him a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like crawling through his fucking chest piece and give him a heart attack, and during the commotion, current day Iron Man, this is all going to get very confusing, will then try steal the Tesseract and fuck off. But what they didn't realise was Hulk had to take the stairs because he's too big for a lift. And this...
Which starts as a joke.
Avengers Hulk, that is. Avengers 1 Hulk is having to take the stairs and ends up knocking out... current day Iron Man. Yeah. There's so much. Basically, the plan goes tits up.
Yeah.
Before they start this mission, they're like, okay, do not interact with your older selves. Do not disrupt the timeline in any way. Just steal the stones and get out of there. And in about 5 minutes, they've interacted with their old selves. They've completely fucked the timeline. When they try steal the Tesseract, they completely fuck it up, drop it, and Avengers 1 Loki picks it up
and escapes, which is amazing.
Because I think that's going to set up
the Disney Plus
Loki
series.
Yeah.
So Loki grabs the cube, goes through a portal, that's it. So like that's Avengers 1 completely changed.
Yeah, they fucked that timeline now.
Yeah.
You know, so...
The only thing... was that... Come to this in the end, but Harley can fix it.
Yeah, most of the timelines do get fixed at the end. But I think Loki going through...
Yeah, that's like...
going to be the only one they can't fix.
Or the only way you can think about it is... Every time they make a change, that's creating a different timeline. Yeah. So that timeline can exist, and then that's how we can still have a Loki, but he won't be part of our... He's still dead in our MCU. This is a different Loki.
And the best part is this all gets explained by the Ancient One.
Yeah. So that's kind of happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then the other thing... Yes, then you've got... So Ant-Man and Iron Man have messed up. They didn't get the Tesseract. Then you've got Cap, who has got to get the scepter. He succeeds, but he's got to fight himself.
Which is so good.
His the old him thinks he's Loki. Oh, but before this, before that happens, he goes into an elevator where Agent Sitwell and Mark Ruff, what's his bloody name? Crossbones.
Yeah.
Have got the scepter and they're in a lift. They're going down,
and it was basically completely mirroring the Winter Soldier scene.
And the Scarface guy, the Hydra agent, I don't know. He's been in a couple of movies, isn't he?
Yeah.
He unclips his gun, and Cap looks down. He's like, "No," he's like, "I'm here to get the scepter," and then he's like, "Well, we need permission or whatever.
We better check with Fury."
He's like, "No." And then Cap just leans in Sitwell's ear and goes, "Hail Hydra." And it's just like,
what is one of the best moments of that movie? The whole cinema was just like,
such a little nod, because obviously the commotion a couple of years ago when he was a Hydra agent and everyone lost their shit.
Like, if you, again, I'm going to say this a lot, if you had told me this, if you had told me that, but yeah, if you had told me we get Captain America whispering to a Hydra agent, "Hail Hydra."
Yeah.
But that's the sort of shit these films, like, are just made for, and you know what I mean? Like, this is stuff like this is why we love the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a small thing, and like I'm sort of turning around to the missus, who obviously doesn't follow the comic book stuff, and like she's like, I don't get it, and then I explained to her afterwards. She was like, "Oh, that's really clever." You know what I mean? So it doesn't take away from people who don't know what that's about, but then for the people who do know, it's just it's more than a nod.
It's more than a nod. Yeah,
it's stuff like that really makes you realise that Kevin Feige, the Russo brothers,
they know that shit.
Yeah, and then they're one of us essentially.
Yeah,
like if we were more intelligent, we'd be doing this sort of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're just so lucky that somebody so high up in the movie industry is one of us.
Yeah,
has made this
masterpiece.
So
Cap, then after that he gets a scepter, fights himself, which is a really cool little fight. So you got old Cap with his mask off. Old Cap with his mask on.
Yep.
New Cap with his mask off. He fights and beats himself. And he gets a scepter.
When Avengers 1 Cap goes, "I could do this all day," and he's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's just brilliant, isn't it? Because they had to get it in. He's like, just throwing it like a throwaway kind of gag, but it was really good. Really good. While all this is happening, Hulk has got to go to the Sanctorium, because obviously that still exists. And what's really cool is you get to see is he called the Ancient One?
Yes.
Who was the Sorcerer Supreme at that time, doing her own little battle against Chitauri. So she's there on the top of the Sanctum, fighting the Chitauri in their own way.
Which now just brings a whole new level
because
to Avengers 1.
Even though they weren't introduced, they still existed.
Yeah, and now it's canon now that the Ancient One was fighting the Chitauri in the Battle of New York.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
I love that. And also because, because she's not part of the MCU anymore, it's really cool to give her a little bit extra.
Yeah.
So then, then Hulk lands and he's like, "Oh, I'm here for Doctor Strange." She's like, "You're 5 years too early." And I was like, so good. And basically, like, in a nutshell, he brings her around to the idea that he should have the time stone, because obviously she's like, I don't want to risk my timeline for yours, sort of thing. And the only reason he convinces her is because he says that Doctor Strange gives away the stone. So she's like, well, there must have been a reason for it.
And it's at this point where, if anyone's got questions about time travel and how this works, like messing up timelines, she basically explains all of that.
Yeah.
It's a very much like...
they're also talking that he's in his astral form. She pushes Banner out of Hulk, so Mark Ruffalo gets to have a little bit of screen time as himself.
Yes,
even though he's like a spirit.
Yeah, you see through. It's a really cool way of sort of giving giving her more screen time,
Yeah.
explaining to the audience that's how time travel works.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking at the time, like, well, surely this is going to fuck up all these timelines now.
Yeah.
But then when she explains, well, no, or Bruce explains to her, if I just bring back the stones to where we stole them, will that reset everything? She's like, well, yeah. Then you know, okay, that's how this has got to end.
And that's the eventual plan.
So then you know you've got the plan in action, right? Steal these stones, whatever it takes, and you know, bring them back, do the snap, bring everyone back, but then travel back one more time to put the stones back into place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So he gets it.
So he gets. Yeah, she happily
So
gives
they
up the stones.
have-
But as soon as she realizes the strange,
yeah.
happily give up the
Yeah.
stone. She realizes she gives up the stone.
And then so they basically have the time and mind stone. And then they kind of they
They still need to get. The
even though
space
Ant-Man's
stone,
the
don't
one
they?
who messed up, he doesn't get to really redeem himself because it's Cap and Iron Man who are like, actually, I know where we can go and get the
Space
Stone
stone
at another
lost to
time
Loki.
and more pin particles at the same time, which is basically S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 70s.
And the whole time, Ant-Man's like, "What? How? Where?
Yeah,
Where?"
yeah, yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like, "Shut up, we're not talking."
Yeah,
to you."
yeah. And they basically just go back in time again to when I think it's not just before Captain America is
It's the
Captain America.
it's the 70s, isn't
Because
it, I think?
there's a picture of
Is it?
little Steve Rogers on the desk, isn't there?
I thought it was the 70s.
It is 70s, yeah. Would that be later then, wouldn't it?
That's later. Yeah, Cap's gone at this.
So
point.
Cap would exist.
Cap's gone.
Oh,
No, Cap's in the ice. At
so
this
it's 25
point.
years
Yeah,
after. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Cap's in the ice at this point.
But
And they're going to-
Peggy's still got a picture of young Cap.
Yes.
Little Steve on her desk, which is
Yeah.
so cute.
So just to let's try not to stick onto this bit too much, but essentially, yeah, they go back. Tony gets a lovely moment with his
really
dad.
nice scene.
His
with
dad has
Howard.
no idea who this guy
Yeah,
is. He calls
really
himself
nice scene. Howard Potts.
Howard Potts. He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Howard Potts," and he's like, "Oh, I'm Howard as well.
Yeah.
I'm Howard Stark." And
Yeah.
like, oh.
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's very very smart, and like it's just so cool that we know what happens at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
That Tony then gets to have this moment with his dad.
Yeah.
And his dad says something like, the kid's not even born yet, but I'd do anything for him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, and like just before they say goodbye, because again, like Howard Stark don't really know who this guy is, and he's
No.
like shaking his hand, being like, "Well, you look after yourself, Howard Potts," and then Tony just gives him this massive hug.
Yeah.
And like, he's like, do
Oh,
I
he
know
did.
this
Yeah,
guy?
yeah,
It's just such a great moment.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Cap gets to see Peggy very briefly, and although this scene is about getting the Space Stone, it's really about giving the two main characters of the MCU basically what they've always wanted.
Yeah.
He gets to get back with his dad for a bit. He gets to Captain America gets to see Peggy very
Yeah,
briefly.
it's brilliant.
And it's just a lovely scene. It's just an absolute lovely scene. I love it. But they get what they came for. They get the Space Stone, and it's back.
It's done.
So that's the New York bit done.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Let's go to
Soul Stone or the Power Stone?
the.
Because the Power Stone is obviously the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but then that finishes it. Well, we'll go to Thor. I think then we'll do the.
Oh, of course, yes, the Reality Stone.
Reality Stone.
Yeah.
Rocket and Thor are going back to Dark World Asgard when Jane goes back to where Jane goes to Asgard to
With
be
the
healed.
ether in her, yeah.
Because they decide that's the best time to get it when it's probably easiest to get because it's inside Jane. No one else is trying to get it. It's before the Dark Elves attack Asgard.
I think it's quite cool as well for all the shit that Dark World gets. They
Yeah.
get a moment in this
It
movie.
it makes it important.
Yeah. They do a good job of bringing
Yeah.
it back and sort of making it.
Yeah.
It's always been canon, but like
Tell you what it did for me in a weird way. It made all the stuff that happens in the Dark World more like with the stone. Mean more. Like obviously, yeah, they are manipulating reality because that's the reality stones. That's why all that weird stuff happens in that film. Do you know what I mean? Whereas in that, it's a bit more like, there's portals and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
No, it was the reality stone just manipulating reality completely, which makes it more effective.
Yeah,
right?
I completely agree. So, yeah, it doesn't. This is the quicker one out of all the time jumps. Thor and Rocket get the ether or get the reality stone reasonably quick, no problem. Basically, Rocket stabs Jane.
Yeah, Rocket doesn't really do much, does he?
No, if
He's
anything,
like,
he's just trying to keep drunk Thor under control.
Yeah.
Because Thor's like in a bad way anyway.
Really bad. But this is where he really. This bit is where you really see how depressed he really is. Like he's
it's
a
where
mess.
it stops being funny.
But it's like there are funny moments still where like so he sees his mum basically, and his mum's like, "You're not the Thor I know."
And he's all panicky like, "Shit, I'm not meant to. I'm not meant to mess with the past." And then she's like, "Look, I was like born a witch
Is
something.
yeah.
And she's like, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's completely,
Yeah.
it's really weird. His mum's completely aware of everything that's
Yeah.
happening and just says, don't tell me anything's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
happen. Don't, as long as you don't tell me anything of my future,
Yeah.
you won't mess up the timeline.
But obviously he
It's
knows
fine.
she's going to die.
And then he just breaks down, doesn't he? And he's like,
Yeah.
It's funny though, because he starts getting all emotional and teary.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're right, I'm from the future.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, it's funny, but you feel so sad for him at the same time.
Yeah, because he is this broken, drunk, fat dude that's just like lost everything.
Yeah.
But he, much like Captain America and Iron Man, he's getting his moment.
Yeah.
He's finally, because he never got to say goodbye to his mum,
No,
and now he can.
Yeah.
Same with Tony and his dad. He
Yeah.
finally gets to say goodbye to his dad, and it's just like they do such a good job in this movie of wrapping up the massive overall story. But even wrapping up these tiny little individual character arcs are just tied up with such a lovely little bow. And, you know, you at this point you're thinking, any of these characters could die now. Because they're all getting the happy endings.
We're getting the happy endings, yeah.
You know?
But just before they dial back in to go back, because basically everyone who completes their mission has got a little watch, and they tap it back in and they go back to the moment where they left from the current time. Just before they go back, he puts his arm out, and Mjolnir comes into his hand, and he's like, I am still worthy!
Yeah. There's ways where
so
it's like, it takes a while.
Yeah. It's brilliant. Like, it's such a cool moment, because obviously Mjolnir's gone, so now he can get it back for a bit and have fun with it. And that's it, really. That's what happens. Thor sees his mum, Rocket gets the stone, they go back with Mjolnir and the stone. So then you go back to space. So this is the space mission.
Yep.
And you've got Nebula and War Machine are getting the Power Stone. And Nat and Hawkeye have got to go and get the Soul Stone. So what happens is basically they separate. We'll go. Do you want to just go through the Soul Stone first?
I think the source is more, because Power Stone's very much, well,
Because it affects the whole end of the film.
yeah, that's true, actually. So, yeah, Soul Stone is basically the exact same scene as Thanos and Gamora approaching, is it Vormir? Yeah,
Vormir, yeah. Vormir, yeah.
But this time, instead of it being Thanos and Gamora, it's Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah.
And you know straight away, before they even meet Red Skull, and go up the hill and do all this shit, you're like, one of them's got to die.
Yeah, someone's got to die.
Straight away, it just dawns on you, doesn't it? It just hits you like a brick, like, oh shit, one of these two are going to die. And that's exactly what happens. And as soon as they realise that, it becomes a fight between those two to who gets to sacrifice themselves for
they
the
both
other.
believe they should die, because obviously now we did kind of skip over Hawkeye being Ronin earlier on.
Hawkeye's Ronin.
Hawkeye's
awesome.
Ronin, and there's a really cool scene in Tokyo where he's killing loads of
I know we're kind of going through this movie
bad
literally
guys.
like scene by scene at this point. If we miss a scene or whatever, or like, you know, we've missed the Ronin bit, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? It was a 3-hour movie that we watched last night at midnight, you know, bear with us here.
But yeah, the Hawkeye Ronin, like Ronin's, he's lost it because his family dead. He's just going
yeah.
around being Batman, basically, isn't he? But with a sword.
Essentially, yeah.
Like if you don't know who Ronin is, like I do, I've read a lot of Ronin. He's really cool. If you don't know who he is, he's basically Batman with a sword and he kills. So he's like lost his shit. His family are dead. So he's going around killing loads of people. Nat saves him. Blah blah. They get to Vormir. One of them's got to kill themselves. And I thought to myself, like, there must be another way around this. Like they've got to have something on them that they can sacrifice instead.
For some reason, I got it in my head that they were both going to sacrifice themselves, and that'll turn it around, and that'll mean they'll both survive and get the stone because they made the ultimate sacrifice, something like that. But no, it doesn't. They don't pull any fucking punches here, do they?
No.
They just
and it's like weird. Like that scene, I was like, oh, you know, they're both. I didn't think it would end like that. It kind of just. So you think Hawkeye's done it? Like he knocks down Nat. He goes to jump off the edge. You're like, oh, fair enough. Like Hawkeye, you know, you had a really good run, mate. Just as he's going over, Nat fires a grappling hook to him and to the side and jumps herself. And then he grabs her and he's like, no. And he's like crying. And she's just like, just let go. And then he just lets go of her and she dies. And it's such a good scene. From something that was a bit jokey, them fighting to kill themselves.
It becomes this big,
really big.
We have our
moment.
first proper major death.
Yeah.
Natasha Romanoff gone.
It's dead. I think.
Do you think so? The Black movie. The Black Widow movie. Do you think you said to me straight after we got out, that you think that they may have been a bit of a fake out and may have been trolling us?
A fake announce what will happen in the past, because I don't think they realised that.
So and that's it. And she didn't come back. She's proper dead, which Sucks. It's our first big depressing death of the movie, and it hits home really well.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it does.
I think this is a good time to interrupt for a sponsorship talk. Our sponsor today is Budweiser beer. Javi, do you want another beer, mate?
Yeah, I got.
I'll get a beer. You introduce the next scene.
Yeah. So basically, you got Black Widow. Hawkeye wakes up with the Soul Stone in his hand, just like Thanos did in the water, and he's not a happy man. You know, he's just lost his best friend, more than the best friend. You know, so that's that. Then the last one, and the only reason we're talking about this last is because it sets up the final act of the film, is the Power Stone. So it starts off amazingly because obviously you've got War Machine, who he is never really a serious character.
I'm back.
Even though he lost his legs, he's never a really serious character.
He's always a side character, isn't he? Yeah,
he's just making
always
jokes.
The sidekick,
you know.
Yeah, he's always
the only thing about this whole scene. I mean, it's the MCU. It doesn't. No one has to wear spacesuits, so everyone can breathe in space.
Yeah, it is a bit. All of a sudden, it is like, oh, Nat and Hawkeye drive or like piloting a spaceship to Vormir, and it's all a bit like, okay. Admittedly, Rocket does say like, oh, I've punched in the directions.
Yeah.
You just have to sit there, which is fair enough. But it is just a bit like, okay, we haven't really. Like done, not that you have to do training or anything like that, but it's just all of a sudden like, okay, everyone's capable of going to space now.
Two humans with no powers are going the furthest into space to go and get a stone.
Yeah, that was a bit odd, and it's going to be one of those things where you're questioning it when it's happening, but when you realise it's because they want to get to the Soul Stone choice of these two. Once they get there, you're like, yeah, I'm fine with it.
There's a good reason.
Because it's so good. Like, the payoff's so good. But yeah, it's a bit in the same way where like Nebula makes sense to be on. I can't remember which planet it is now. Basically, the planet that opens up Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
And it's brilliant because they're hiding behind a rock. Obviously, so there's the famous Peter Quill movie where he's walking in, he's singing along, opening the Guardians, and it's got the music like it does in normal Guardians, and it cuts to being War Machine and Nebula's view. And he's just there singing to himself, going, because
he's got headphones in,
and he's like, and
that was the audience.
Yeah,
we can't
so
hear
good.
The
we can't hear
he
music.
Looks so stupid.
Yeah,
and like
it's just another thing where they changed this classic scene.
Yeah, and they just changed the dynamic of it,
and he's like, so War Machine's like, he's an idiot. He's like, yeah.
So like this, okay, because you know we're well into like the second hour at this point. Like, getting the stones is sort of like the second half of the movie, and at this point, like I said, it is a run through of all our favourite scenes and stuff like that. And this is just another one that's like, hey, remember the Guardians? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they haven't had much love through this movie because all you've got left is Rocket and Nebula.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're getting like all the Guardians flashbacks from the first one. Wow, you know, the opening scene and everything. But this is where shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Because what everyone fails to realise is Nebula's sort of the way she's built. She essentially doesn't have a brain as much as she has a network. So whenever anyone's talking to her saying, oh, this is our plan, blah, 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 we're doing this, we're doing that, all this is getting fed to other nebulas across the timelines.
Well, which wouldn't be known until it has happened. But now there are two nebulas in the same existence, right?
Yes, because she's time traveled to a timeline that she's already on. As soon as like War Machine now starts talking to her in that timeline, like, oh, okay, we're here to steal the Time Stone, blah blah. Oh, the Power Stone, blah blah blah. This is being fed to the other nebula in the current timeline, and we know where that nebula is right now. She's still helping Daddy Thanos, and Thanos is getting all this information fed to him as it's happening. So, although we think, Thanos is dead, he's been beheaded, 2014 Thanos, who is basically the Thanos just before he gets all the stones. So he's you know, he's at his most powerful naturally.
Pre-stone.
He's at his most natural power without, you know.
Well, the thing is, though, the thing about Thanos is, which we'll learn. I can't. Well, I'm not spoiling the end of the film. We'll spoil all of it. But basically, the fact that he can snap twice and still survive means he's really powerful, which we'll find out later on.
Yeah. Well, we knew anyway that he'd snapped his fingers twice anyway. Obviously, done it to decimate everyone, and then done it again.
But he was still alive. Like, he was weak, but he was still alive. And
he survived it.
As you'll find out, that's not that easy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's really powerful. Everyone knows that. There's a reason why he can wield the stones.
Yeah.
He's a really powerful being.
Yeah, it's not just the stones that makes him who he is. I mean, like, let's not forget, with just the Power Stone, he took down Hulk like he was nothing at the beginning of Infinity War. So, you know, he's Yeah, he's massive as he is. So yeah, now Thanos knows their plan.
Yeah, so
And
because
Thanos is straight back into this as the main
Did you say about the recording? Like he bent back, basically watched Nebula's memories, but through the old Nebula, he watched all the new Nebula's like memories, like a movie.
Yeah, he basically watched everything we've watched up until this point, including himself die.
Yeah, including him die, and he was like, right, okay, so now he can see that his plan didn't work. So he knows that and essentially because of that, because he saw that, he becomes like the Thanos that we knew in Infinity War. He just knows everything, and he knows who people are. But I mean, we know he's clever because remember he knows who Tony Stark is, and he's like, you're not.
Yeah. So he's always been clever, but now he, the 2014 version of him knows everything, and he's younger, more intelligent, and more aware of what will happen if he doesn't do it right this time. So he knows he's successful, but as like Ebony Moore sort of says to him, is like, well, you do succeed. And he's like, yeah, but what cost?
Yeah.
And he sees himself get beheaded and everything. So it's like, right now, I need to go succeed, but be more brutal about it and finish everyone off this time.
Yeah.
And now he's got a new goal of not just wiping out half the universe, but basically wiping out the entire universe and starting afresh.
Yeah.
Because the ones that he's left behind no longer
are grateful.
No longer are grateful for, or never were grateful, but he always thought they would be. But he sort of explains that in a lot more detail in the third act.
Yeah.
So basically, they get the Power Stone reasonably easy, didn't they?
Nebula puts her arm inside the force field. It melts,
which is handy because then you can because you
can tell the difference.
You can now tell the difference between the two nebulas. Oh, and also worth noting that with old Nebula and old Thanos comes old Gamora.
Yeah.
And this is how Gamora becomes back into the movie. She don't get brought back from the dead, but we do get the old version of her, which is a bit more nasty. Not spent much time with the Guardians, so she doesn't know who Quill is. She doesn't know who Drax is or Rocket or anyone, so she's there. She's her old self, but she's a bit more miserable and has become fun Guardians of the Galaxy Gamora at this point, and is working for Thanos. So they basically let Nebula take the Power Stone.
Yeah.
But knowing that... Oh, no, they just as, that she gets the Power Stone, they go to teleport back.
Oh, yeah.
And as they do, Thanos stops Nebula teleporting back and swaps her with his version of Nebula, so that when War Machine comes back with Nebula, it's actually the...
Evil Nebula.
The evil Nebula, and then she's basically working as an inside man for Thanos, which brings us nicely onto the third act.
Yeah.
So as we enter...
It's worth noting here we're at nearly an hour, and we said we'd do this in about 40 minutes.
I think we actually said 20 minutes. I think
we're just getting to the third act now.
I think we said we'll do this in 20 minutes and then go back to playing FIFA. And
oh well, something worth talking about. And what you could call final act, or you can call it the fan service act. It's up to you, because this final hour is, for a fucking nerdy nerd, it's the best hour of film. Like, the only thing I'm sad about is I'll never get to watch something that good fresh again.
Yeah, it was such an experience.
It's it was like playing. Oh god, I can't think. Like I was going to say Days Gone.
Let's not talk about Days Gone.
The Last of Us.
Let's wait for the PS Pod to talk about Days Gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Watching The Last of Us for the first time or something like that.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It was
amazing.
It was special. So basically, they've got the stones. No fucking about. They've made a gauntlet for themselves. Seemed pretty easy to do, but hey, they just got time travel. Everything's easy now. They decide that Hulk's the only one that's going to be able to wield it. He's the only one physically strong enough to survive the snap. And basically, no fucking about.
No.
They just put the glove on, snap, bring everyone back.
Yeah.
But you don't see everyone come back.
No.
Basically, what happens is he snaps and it's a big dramatic scene. It's like, did it work? Did it work? And, I feel like we've brushed over that too much. It's done so well.
Oh, really well.
There's so much tension in it.
Yeah,
and you are nervous.
Thor wants to do it because he thinks he's the most powerful Avenger.
Yeah, but they tell him you're not in the right mindset.
He's like, you're gone. You can't do it.
Yeah, you're a drunk idiot. And Hulk makes the most sense. So he does it, causes him, fucks himself up doing it. He basically breaks his arm doing it. He's in a bad way. And Ant-Man goes to look out the window. And he just look. I don't know what he sees, but he sees something.
It's birds.
Oh, is it? Oh, of course, because it's all life, isn't it? So he sees that there's more life outside.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think it worked. And with that, Hawkeye's phone rings.
Yeah, and
he looks down and it's his wife ringing, and all of a sudden you're all emotional because it's like, oh shit, it worked.
Yeah.
And then that happy feeling
Goes.
just gets wiped out.
Taken away. Like
Thanos just comes in and he's like, fuck this shit.
So while that's happening, Nebula goes back to the time machine and basically brings Thanos' entire fleet into this timeline.
Yeah, she opens up the time. Yeah, she basically opens up the time machine for it is a time machine.
Yeah,
for Thanos to travel through, and like you say, he brings his entire space army with him, and basically in a space of 10 seconds and just annihilates Avengers HQ.
Yeah.
Like, just puts it to dust. And they're all, like, trapped under it. They're all, like, dying. And it's all just, like, all this happy stuff. So what's happening? It's all gone wrong. And, like, what I love is then that's where you get the scene from the trailer of Hawkeye running through that red hallway. And it's like, oh, my God. What we didn't realise is he was running with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like, they edited it out that he was running with the gauntlet with all the stones in it. Because the way it's all crumbled in on him.
He ends up with that.
He ends up with the gauntlet. It's just the way it's felt.
So Thanos' rain fire on the Avengers HQ, destroyed it.
Yeah.
And they're all trapped underneath the rubble. Hawkeye's got the gauntlet, and Thanos sends some dogs after it, like those space dogs.
Yeah, the ones from Infinity War. He basically he's on the run with the gauntlet at this point, isn't he? Not wearing it, I should
No, not wearing it.
Yeah.
War Machine and Rocket are drowning.
Yep. I remember how they get saved in the end.
Ant-Man.
Oh, Ant-Man saves
Ant-Man goes and grabs him and becomes Giant Man. But while that's happening, you get the best setup for a battle ever.
It's basically Cap's on his own.
No, what? No. Before that, we've got Cap, Thor, and Iron Man.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All walking up to Thanos, and Thanos is just sat there waiting for him.
Yeah, and we get this 3-on-1 badass battle where I said about maybe that Hail Hydra being one of the more special moments. Oh, does it get outdone? And like, basically at this point we get moment after moment outdoing each other.
Yeah, you do.
But what may be the greatest moment in this movie, maybe, because there's more to come, just as the fight is happening. By the way, at this point Thor's fighting with two weapons, because as we said, when he was back in Asgard, he's managed to pick up his old hammer. And so he's got his hammer and he's got Stormbreaker, and he's going to town.
Yeah, he is.
But at one point he drops the hammer.
And so Thanos he knocks Tony to one side.
Yep.
After they fight, they do fight for a bit. He knocks Tony to one side, and then he knocks out Thor. After Thor has a really good go, and he's having this really awesome fight with Captain America, and he's got so Thanos has got this big kind of double-edged sword, isn't he?
Yep.
And he's just swinging it, and he's like breaking down Cap's shield into half, which you said was the Ultron vision, where you see half of Cap's shield.
He sees Captain America lying there with half a shield. Yeah.
And he's just fucking swinging at him, like going to town. Breaks down his shield. and then I think it goes back to Thor's point of view.
Yeah, and he loses his hammer.
He
gets it knocked out of his hand or whatever, and he's then getting battered by Thanos, isn't he? And he's looking at his hammer, like trying to get to it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it moves. And it's not Thor that's moved. That hammer goes flying across. And whose hand does it land in, Javi?
Captain America.
Oh!
So good!
It was just...
It's amazing.
It was spectacular. It was...
And it wasn't like, oh, he shouldn't be wielding that or anything like that. It was so well done.
Yeah, it was like, if there's any point where Captain America becomes officially worthy, that's it. You know what I mean? And
it's Cap uses the shield, combination of the shield and hammer. That's what's so cool about it. Like, he throws his shield and then throws the hammer off against it to smack Thanos, and it's...
The way he used them both together, like, was just the coolest thing. It was amazing.
Yeah,
like,
but it's for me. So this scene's playing out, and then eventually Thanos gets better of him, doesn't he? Knocks him down again, and then the other two are down, and Cap gets back up, and for me, like, honestly, they could have killed Thanos right now, and I would have been happy. That would have been
an epic moment.
I would have been like a solid.
Like, if Captain America had killed Thanos with the hammer, it would have been like perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but so what happens next?
So this shot where Cap gets back up, and then that's when Thanos brings in the rest of his army. The Black Order, and you realise just how many. Yeah, so he's there. Yeah, like you say, he's got the Black Order behind him, and he's got what is hundreds of
thousands of his army, though, you know, compared to Infinity War, it was like that.
He was so much bigger.
It's like, like 10 times the size.
Yeah. And they all come in, and Cap just gets up and faces them all. It's kind of like
on his own.
You know, in his head, he's thinking like, whatever it takes, I can do this all day. You know, like if I have to, I'll do. Yeah, I will do this by myself if I have to, sort of thing. If you know, even if it kills me, he's facing it, and then you just hear Cap, whispering it's Sam's voice. He's like, Cap, on your left.
On the radio. And then all of a sudden, all these portals start to open. And then you realise that in the, 10 minutes since the snaps happened and they've all come back, Doctor Strange has been gathering the troops everywhere he get. Because, of course, Doctor Strange knew this was the way. Yeah. So when Strange gave over that time stone and faded away, and in his mind, he fades away and fades straight back. And he knows exactly what's happened and what he needs to do. Yeah. And at this point, he brings in himself, Spider-Man.
Everyone except Maria Hill.
Yeah, I think every character in the MCU,
even Valkyrie, even the Asgardians, even the Wakanda tribes.
Basically,
it's just everyone.
At this point, any surviving, and this will include the people on the snap that have all been brought back, any surviving character you have seen in the MCU comes back for one giant battle, and there's this one shot where it's just side by side Thanos' army versus basically the Marvel army.
The MCU, the entire... Because the only people that aren't there are the people that are like perma-dead, like Vision, Heimdall, Black Widow.
Which is a bit of a shame.
But that's the way it is.
Yeah, no Loki either.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's like the entire MCU. And it's like they went, right, you remember the airport scene? Hold my beer.
Well, yeah, it was exactly that. It was... We never thought that airport scene would get topped for one singular, like, action scene. And this did it tenfold.
Yeah.
Like, it not only beat it, it like smashed it. It was on another level, and it was incredible. I don't think us talking about it does it justice.
No, you have. And there's
no, and there's no way anything we say can basically describe how amazing and incredible it was. Like, we can't do it justice.
No,
it was perfect. It's probably my favourite sort of half an hour I've ever seen on screen. Okay, there's a lot going on. But this is why I want to watch it again and again.
Yeah.
I could watch... You said it yourself. Like, it's the sort of thing when you get the Blu-ray, you'll just watch that scene like 5 times in a row just to let it all sink in, because there's so much that happens. And it all kicks off. And at one point, you've got, like, Spider-Man riding on the back of Valkyrie's Pegasus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's like, you know, so you've gone from Cap, like, wielding Mjolnir, to then this battle which has got so much going on, and it's just so much take. So basically the plan is to get the time machine that's in the back of Ant-Man's car running to save themselves again, right? I think. Is that essentially what they're trying to do?
Well, they're trying to...
Or get the gauntlet gone?
I think basically, because obviously they've used the stones to bring back everyone, but now they need to get the stones back in time to not fuck up the timeline, but Thanos is trying to stop that and get the stones for himself so he can re-reverse that and get rid of everyone this time, not just the half he got rid of originally. He wants to get rid of the entire universe. And he even says that during this battle, he actually says, like, this was never personal. This was always something that I felt was my destiny.
But then he said, I'm going to enjoy...
But I'm going to enjoy destroying Earth.
Yeah.
You know, now at this point, he just wants to kill everyone and start afresh. And so it becomes a battle of the Avengers basically like hot potatoing around the Infinity Gauntlet, trying to get it through Ant-Man's van.
It goes from like Hawkeye to Black Panther, who's got a really cool little scene where he just like is kicking complete ass. To Spider-Man, just passing it around, and it's like
trying to keep it away from Thanos.
So like when Spider-Man gets it, he activates instant kill where his little legs in the back of his suit just start killing everything around him. It's so good. And then you get like Scarlet Witch facing off Thanos. She's like, you took everything away from me. And he's like, I don't remember you. And she just like kicks his fucking ass.
Her eyes just go red, and it's like, you'll know who I am.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time, like, okay, she's used her powers before and like looked really strong doing so, but that's the first time you think, oh shit, she could, you know. So I also like, by the way, kind of like we skip past it, when everyone does come back through the portals, we get a lovely reunion of Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Yeah. And they have like a hug.
And at that point, Tony realizes it was all worth it. He's got him back, and it's really emotional scene that, like, the complete flip reverse of the emotional scene in Infinity War
Yeah.
when we lose Peter Parker. But like Peter Parker's so innocent in it all. Like Tony's the one that's crying and upset and like happy with joy. Teary eyed with joy. But like Peter's just so innocent. Like I don't know, I felt weird and everything got all dusty. But then I come back and then that strange guy told me that it's been 5 years and then he opened up a portal and here we are. And he's just so innocent in it all and it's like. It's so good. It's so well done. This whole scene's amazing. Again, we probably sound like we're blabbering on because there is no comprehensible way to put it into words.
Because even before that, like a lot of shit is going down. Like there's just this big fight. So then also you've got Nebula saves Hawkeye from Nebula before that. Remember that?
Yep.
So Nebula kills old Nebula. So Gamora helps Nebula off the ship, and Gamora is essentially a good guy now.
Yeah.
Which she always was going to be, but she's still old Gamora. Then you get Peter Quill finds Gamora, but he goes to like kiss her, and she's like kicks him in the nuts, like basically making you realise and remember she isn't the Gamora that we know and love. She's Gamora from before Guardians 1.
Yep.
And so basically that's happening. So there's this big fight, and you got all these amazing moments. Then. So Thanos starts to get his ass completely handed to him by Scarlet Witch, and it's so good. Like to see her unleash her full powers, and she's like pulling his armor off with her powers.
Yeah.
So like he can't handle her because she's gone full rage mode.
Yeah.
And he just tells I don't know what is the weird guy with the spear. He just goes Rainfire. And he's like, but sire, the troops, and he's like, no, don't worry,
sacrifice them,
and they just start raining rockets down on everyone. So it's going bad. Like. The van gets blown up.
Yeah.
And
wait, does it? No,
yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
I thought they used it at the
end.
end.
No, that's that. No, it doesn't. No. So before that actually, Thanos throws his sword at the fan.
Yeah.
Or won't be. I can't remember how it happens.
Well, Captain Marvel comes down.
Oh yeah.
So it's everything's rain and fire, and then what's great is like all his ships are rain and fire down on all the Avengers. All his own troops, like on this giant wall, and then all of a sudden they all stop and start firing towards the air.
And I thought they were firing at land. I thought they were firing into the city at that point.
No, they go up and start firing into the air, and like Captain America was like gets all confused, like what are they firing at? And then someone's like, no, who are they firing at? And then bang, down comes Captain Marvel to save the day, coming to fucking steal the glory at the end,
out of nowhere.
But she just like. Flies through Thanos' ship, destroys that, just basically goes in and fucks shit up, and goes proper supersonic and just like absolutely destroys everything. Basically takes the glove, like because they've been trying to send it through Ant-Man's van, gets the glove, goes to like send it through. It looks like it's going to be all successful, and then in one last sort of gasp of desperation. Thanos throws his sword at the van at the same time Captain Marvel goes to go through it, and it blows up in her face, and the gloves just then fall onto the floor. They can't get it looks like they can't get the stones back in time. The stones are there at Thanos' reach, and he puts the glove back on. And
then you get Cap v. Then you get Captain Marvel v Thanos.
Yeah, but it's when he's got the glove.
When he's got the glove,
yeah. And that's more of an even fight then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, I got to tell you what, I'm knackered again just fucking going through all this.
And then they're fighting. He goes to headbutt her, and she's like, nope. And he's like, oh, I need something extra. So he grabs the power stone off the gauntlet.
That's right, because she's trying to get the glove off him.
Yeah.
So he just literally, then having just tug of war. Yeah, and he just pulls the power stone out into his hand and like punches her.
Yeah, punches her, like takes her out basically. It's so good.
Just like the pure power of the power stone.
And while this is happening, one of the rockets has hit a river dam, and the water's coming down. So Doctor Strange is keeping it up in a big kind of whirlwind thing.
Yeah,
but he can't do anything else. So basically the fight's happened. Thanos puts the gauntlet back on, and the only person left near him. I don't know what's happened to Thor at this point. Thor's just flying around being Thor, I guess. The only person near him is Iron Man.
We kind of forgot to say as well, Thor, like, when there was, like, thunder in the skies, like, when he started that fight with Thanos, he got, like, his full costume.
Yeah, he got his full costume back.
And he was, like, in his full costume, but fat.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Still brilliant.
Yeah.
So then you get Iron Man v Thanos. And obviously Thanos, like, easily kind of takes him on, but Well, then, so Thanos easily takes on Iron Man.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this.
And it's
At this point, you know what's coming.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
You know what's coming.
I
I remember at one point, one of my predictions was like, Iron Man will just see the gauntlet with all the stones lying on the floor and realise what he's got to do. And that kind of happened.
Yeah, it did.
I think it happened, but then like everyone tried to get hold of it, didn't they? And become like a sort of tug of war between everyone as everyone tried to get hold of the Power Stones.
But, well, so Doctor Strange turns around, because it's an Iron Man looking at Thanos in the gauntlet. Doctor Strange just turns around and he puts up one finger. The one timeline.
Yeah,
where
that's
you can,
right.
Where you can do it.
And it's just, but that was almost his way of being like, because earlier on they had already said, like, oh, I hope this is the timeline. He's like, I can't tell you anything, otherwise I'll ruin it.
Yeah.
And he knew at that point, or he knew from the beginning where he saw all his timelines that Tony had to die.
Yeah.
Hence the reason in Infinity War, he made sure Tony was saved because Tony had to give his life at a later time.
Yeah.
And he knew Tony would be the only one to make the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Which is funny, given that Captain America in Avengers 1 says you'll never be the one to make the sacrifice play or whatever. And he is the only one that was willing to do it in the end.
Yeah.
So, essentially it all... Shit's hitting the fan. It looks like Thanos has got hold of the stones.
One again.
They gets into a tangle with Iron Man.
Yeah.
Throws him away.
Yeah.
Has space. Clicks his fingers. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Turns his glove around. Realises the stones are gone.
Yeah.
We shoot back to the shot of Tony, full Iron Man gear, minus the helmet. And he's got all the stones.
Yeah.
And he's struggling.
Yeah.
Like he's in a bad way. And like how long have like we just been predicted that we'll see this scene of Tony holding all the stones. And then with that, Tony gives it the snap.
But he goes, before that he goes,
of course, yeah. Of course. Fucking botched that, didn't I? And that's why we don't make movies. So yeah, of course he's got all the stones. And just as he raises his hand, his final words, I am Iron Man.
Oh.
Snaps his fingers. And off goes Thanos' army. They all
Entire
dust
army.
off. It's the
Dusts
complete
the army.
reverse of Infinity War. They all dust off one by one. Thanos gets the final one. He's just sat there realising his failure.
Yeah.
Looking to the floor, realising it's all gone to shit.
Yeah.
And he fades off.
Yeah.
But then you realise what it's done to Tony.
Yeah. And it's killed Tony. Like, he barely says 2 words after that.
Oh, he's fucked him. He's dead at that point. Basically, he's literally like gasping for his last breath.
Yeah.
He can't talk. His body's
And
ravaged.
what's brilliant is they don't give him a long... Even though he's like... He is the MCU. They don't give him this long speech... Do you know what I mean? Or anything like that. Like,
well, they kind of did at the end
after,
in that recording.
Though. Yeah. It wasn't like he was dying loud and they go, oh, Pepper, I loved you so much.
He couldn't talk. He was got, and it was more what everyone else says to him.
Yeah.
So you only get 2 characters that really come up and speak to him in his last moments. And the first one's Peter Parker. I couldn't have been happy. If I could have picked any 2 characters to talk to, I would have gone with the 2 they picked.
Yeah, it had to be.
Peter Parker and Pepper Potts.
Yeah. It had to be Pepper.
Yeah, and Peter's is the shock.
Yeah.
He comes in with the shock and basically tells the audience he's dead.
Yeah.
Or he's dying. And he's like, oh, Tony, you did it. And then he realises what's happening. His face turns. He starts to panic. He starts to cry.
Like, half his body is like, fuck, burnt.
Yeah. Can I just also take this moment to say that Tom Holland may be one of the finest actors
Oh, yeah.
out of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He's amazing.
That's twice now he's got me teary-eyed in the fucking cinema. You know what I mean? Like, he's so good at, like, getting sympathy and, like, as soon as he starts going, I go.
I know.
You know? If Tom Holland starts to shed a tear, I'm fucked. I'm gone.
Yeah. He's so good, isn't he?
He's great. So
I would say throughout this whole film, not because of just sad moments, but where you get so excited because it's awesome, you get emotional. Like, it happened to me so many times. When the battle starts, I literally teared up just because I'd never seen something.
Happy you were.
Something, yeah, I'd never seen something so amazing and awesome on screen.
With Captain America getting the hammer. That got me. Fuck me. When he did the Hail Hydra bit, I was like so happy. I was like, oh, that was so good.
I know. No, there were definitely a couple moments where I was like proper like crying almost because I was just so happy. And it wasn't many moments where I was, but that was so emotional.
Yeah, I think you had a lot of like teary-eyed moments with happiness, but I think I got a little bit upset with Black Widow dying.
Yeah.
But Iron Man was another level.
Yeah.
When Tony went. And the whole scene, the whole bit with Peter, like I say, as soon as Tom Holland starts welling up, that sets me off. And then Pepper comes up to him. And what was so good was how she didn't say anything too stereotypical.
No.
She didn't give this massive. If anything, she was like happy for him.
Yeah.
And she was smiling, and she just said, "You can rest now."
Yeah.
And what a line. You can, because that was almost just like, that was at that moment when she says that line, she puts the current version of the MCU as we know it to rest.
Yeah.
She's not, I feel like she's not just talking to Tony, she's talking to everyone. Like, you can rest now, that's it. We've done it, it's finished. And it was such a good way to go out.
Yeah, it was.
They couldn't have done it any better. And then just to like put the cherry on top, we cut to Tony's funeral.
Yeah.
And everyone's there. Every character in the MCU's there. We even get I'm sure Maria Hill was there. You see, you don't remember seeing her.
I don't remember seeing her.
I'm sure I could be wrong. I'd have to watch it again.
Just before that, there's a scene inside the house with a few very special people where Iron Man's recorded a message in the helmet, and he's like...
And that's sort of what's talking over the funeral, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit before that where it cuts to Wakanda and stuff as well.
Yeah, you kind of get everyone going home.
And it's like Iron Man saying, I hope you watch this back.
Yeah.
You know, and think of everything or whatever, something like that. And you just know he's talking to us about going back and watching all his films again.
Because in the movie, we're saying when you watch this back, he's talking about this recording that he's made. But when you're actually got this sort of like montage of everyone going home and like flicking between all the heroes, and Tony Stark talking over it to the audience saying, when you watch this back, I hope it means a lot, just stuff like that. It's oh, fucking hell. You know what I mean? Talk about like proper, punch to the gut. Like, oh man, like I don't care how on the nose that is. It's they've earned the right to be able to do that sort of shit. You know what I mean? It's not too corny. It's not too over the top. It just worked. It was fucking perfect.
It was perfect.
And he then goes on to give that speech of like, basically saying goodbye to his family.
Yeah.
And saying goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
And basically gives it the happy ending. Yeah. As like, this is what he wanted.
But then he's also like, but it's fine because it's going to go right. Or something like that at the end, doesn't he? And
he ends with that optimism that he always had, and which is quite sad.
And then you get like, then it's like an ending on an ending on an ending. So then you get a couple
you get loads of endings now.
So another really quick one is Thor.
Yep.
So you get Thor back at Asgard. He basically says to Valkyrie, look, you're a better leader than me. You're queen now, essentially, doesn't he?
Which, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not a leader. He's a reckless, fighter. So Valkyrie's now the queen of New Asgard. And he's like, I haven't got a path. And then Rocket's like, hey, come on. I don't know what he says. And
basically invites him to be one of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
So now Thor is now with the Guardians, minus Gamora. And there's a really good little scene where Quill and Thor have that kind of...
Don't forget Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Asgardians of the Galaxy. And they have this little scene of like, who's the leader sort of thing. It's a really funny kind of
sets up
what you saw in Infinity War again.
Yeah, it kind of sets up that the next Guardians will probably feature Thor.
Yeah, heavily.
That's what they set up for.
Which, and again, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You're so happy it ends in that way for them. They go off and be the Asgardians of the Galaxy in space.
So Thor survives, which we didn't expect.
Yeah, I didn't. He was in my... If someone was going to die, it was him, Cap, and Thor.
Yeah. And maybe even
him, Cap, and Iron Man. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I get what you're saying. Yeah, and
it's worth mentioning. We've said when Hulk used the gauntlet, he fucked his right arm.
Yeah.
So his right arm is completely crippled.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be able to recover from that or not. You don't think he will?
I don't know either. No, I don't know. I was thinking if he put loads of gamma radiation on it, but
yeah, he may be right.
Yeah, basically Hulk is only got one arm he can use. So Thor's with Guardians, and then you get the amazing, is that the final scene then with Cap?
Cap's the final scene. So we've had Iron Man's tragic death, Thor's happy ending. Hulk kind of doesn't really get a proper ending.
No,
he just kind of it's a bit open ended with him. But then,
always is though, isn't it, with him?
Yeah, because Universal, fuck off. But then you get Cap's end, which was brilliant. So essentially, they've still got all the stones. They rebuilt the time machine, the original one that Nebula fucked up or Thanos fucked up, and they still realise they've got to take the stones back to the time they came from. That's to not fuck up obviously going to have all these alternative realities. They're going to fuck the timeline.
Yeah.
So basically, Captain America steps up to be the one to say, "I'll take them all back. I'll drop them all off."
Yeah.
I believe he takes Thor's hammer as well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I'll take this back. So basically, his task is to fix the timelines that they fucked up.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like going around saying their goodbyes. And at this point, I was like, he ain't coming back.
No.
But
you predicted before this that
I predicted
he was going to go back in time to be with Peggy.
Back in time, yeah. And so as soon as that scene started playing out, I was like, yeah, I think I nailed that. And like, but the way they did it was great. I love that the only other character that seemed to realise what was going on was Bucky.
Yeah.
If you actually look, the other guys are like, because, you know, Hulk says, oh yeah, it'll be
5 seconds.
Yeah, it'll be 5 seconds our time, and like, you know,
however long it takes
for him. You know, could take him days, hours, whatever. But for us, it'll be 5 seconds and he'll be back.
Yeah.
And then like he says, so everyone's like, yeah, see you in a minute. Yeah, good luck. See you in a sec. Good luck. Blah blah blah. Apart from Bucky, actually says, like he says something like, thanks for everything, goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't say see you in a minute. He knew exactly what was happening. I thought that was really good.
Really clever.
And then like he goes, and then 5 seconds passes, and they're like, what's going on?
Yeah, and Hulk's like proper like, what's going on?
Yeah, Hulk's in
Something's
a panic.
Gone wrong.
And like Bucky's just smiling.
Yeah.
Bucky's just smiling. So good. And then like they all turn around.
Yeah.
And just see this old man on a bench.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck me.
So good, isn't it?
So amazing. Falcon's the only one that approaches him. I think even one of them says it should be you.
Yeah.
Don't they? And like Falcon goes over and talks to him. Basically says like he's happy for him. And was like, did you lead your best life sort of thing? He's like, yeah. I did everything I wanted to. Well, he says something like, oh, I got there and didn't want to leave. Something like that. I can't remember the exact words. But then like says, oh, I've got something for you. And like opens up this package. And it's the Captain America shield.
Yeah.
That he then hands over to Falcon.
Yeah.
Passes the torch.
Yeah. And it's like, we all knew that was going to happen as well.
And
like,
as he passes,
we knew we were going to get Sam Wilson, Captain America.
And as he passes the shield, you notice that he's got a ring on his finger.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
He's married. And then like, Falcon's like, oh, do you want to tell me about her? And he's like, no, not really.
Yeah, he's just like, no, I'm done with this life, essentially. And then we
get the final scene. And it goes back in time to whenever it was, the 70s.
I don't know, whichever time period he's decided to settle in.
And it's just him dancing with Peggy.
He got that last dance.
In their front room.
He got that first dance.
That got me emotional as well. There's just music and everything.
That's the last scene. That is the last scene of
the MCU as we know it.
And what a better way. Cap gets his dance.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
And at that point, I remember sort of that. What I love, I've done a few of these midnight screeners now for MCU movies, and at this point, when the credits roll, it's chatter.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, the only time Infinity War was a bit of silence, like of what the fuck just happened, before everyone then was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Where this was just
everyone was proper quiet,
and everyone was just taking it in.
Yeah.
Especially then when they start. The end credits then
it's really cool.
Everyone gets a moment. They go through every sort of side character first, don't they? With their, with their names and the character they play and everything, and the picture of that character.
Well, not even side characters. Even it's all the characters on Avengers.
Yeah. Pretty much every MCU character we've seen
gets a little moment.
This point gets a tiny little moment. The actor gets gets the recognition they deserve. But then we get to the recognition of the main Avengers. Yeah. And the way they do it is, say, for example, comes up with Mark Ruffalo. They'll come up with the name Mark Ruffalo, and then that'll fade off, and you'll get Mark Ruffalo's signature, and then a picture of him as Hulk coming in between the image. And I did that one by one for every Avenger, and it was fucking perfect.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was done so, and it was just literally them signing off. Yeah. Literally every one of them gives them your autograph, and they sign off, and then it cuts to black, no after credit scene.
Yeah.
I don't even remember turning around to you and going, I'm so glad there was no after credit scene there, because that was a perfect way to finish it. And then even as then the main credits are rolling at the end, I remember sort of thinking, if we get no proper end credit scene here, I'm happy, because I know this ain't about setting up.
No.
This was about finishing the 22 movie arc that was the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
So that's it. Final thoughts.
So I think we were
since we've literally just. By the way, we should have opened this by saying, if you don't have time to watch Endgame, you can just listen to us describe it scene by scene.
Us talking about it.
We got carried away then a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But there is nothing they could have done better. Like, I really feel that way about this film. Like, I'm going to go see it again, like I said, tomorrow night or whenever Friday night. I'm going to go see it again
tomorrow morning.
And I just really, really think that there's nothing they can do better. Like they can't. They couldn't improve. Like there was moments where I was like, oh, like there was literally would be 2 seconds where I was like, oh, this bit's getting. Oh no, they've done something amazing. They've changed it like really immensely. You know, you can't. It's just like it's the. I think at this moment in time, it's the best film I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, my first impressions were definitely jumps to the top of the pile when it talks MCU movies.
Because like does it
straight away?
My favourite was still Civil War over Infinity War. I loved Infinity War, but Civil War felt like it had more big moments. Even though it had an overarching story, it introduced lots of characters. It did a really good job of introducing Black Panther and Spider-Man whilst having this amazing story that didn't miss a beat. Whereas Infinity War was like one big story that led to a big battle.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it was so different to that. It had the depression at the beginning, a really funny time travel story at the beginning, and like a nearly hour-long battle at the end.
Well, I mean,
with moment after moment after moment.
I mean, I'm on the same page as you, mate. Well, for me, Infinity War was my favourite MCU movie heading into this, and Endgame's topped it.
I don't think that they'll top this.
I don't think they can, because this movie, I do actually believe stands up well as its own movie. You'll be confused, but you'll have fun.
Yeah.
But when you look at it of what it's meant to be looked at, which is the final chapter of this giant saga, it couldn't have been done better. And that's the thing, you can't. Another movie can't match this because another studio isn't going to put in the time and effort of 22 movies and get them as right as they've got. It's all well and good saying you can do 22 movies. Anyone can do 22 movies, but can you do them to this level of success and keep them all tonally the same?
Yeah.
Keep them all in the same universe, all make sense, all feed into each other the way they have, and basically give you the payoffs and the fan service and the moments that you can only appreciate having seen every one of these movies and loved them.
This probably will only be the best movie ever if you've seen all the MCU and you're a massive.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
fan.
no one's going to go into this as their first
there
comic book movie and go, "That's the best movie I've ever seen."
I want to talk to someone who's not a comic book fan who's seen this, even if you're an MCU fan, just see how your opinion differs, because there was so many moments that gave to us like Hell Hydra and Cap wielding Mjolnir and Sam Wilson Cap,
and that shot of every MCU character.
Yeah, every MCU character
coming up against Thanos' army.
Yeah. It was just amazing. Like, it was so incredible the way they did it.
And that moment of like just Tony having the stones and clicking his foot. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like no, like any other movie that shit happens, and like fuck me, if the guys who ran DC or had this in their hand would have had Tony snapping his fingers with the Infinity Stones by like movie 3.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's what this has done great.
Imagine DC, when DC had Man of Steel, and I personally I really like that film. Imagine if at that point they were right, we're going to have the dedication that Marvel do. They would be able to do something similar with they've got
the characters,
Darkseid,
they've got the characters, and they've got the source material to pull from.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. Well, I think it just goes to show when you think of like DC side of things, how much more impressive it looks for Marvel.
Yeah,
because they've really, because it's all well and good saying they've got it right. Yeah, everyone should follow Marvel, but it's how much effort has had to go into getting it right.
Yeah,
and having someone like Kevin Feige, our Lord and Savior, praise be unto him, who has overseen all this and made sure that nothing. What I like is like how Kevin Feige's always been happy to sack someone, or not sack someone, but like basically break apart from the director if they don't follow his vision, which sounds a bit harsh, but at the end of the day, it's
paid
worked.
off.
Yeah, you look at like Joss Whedon, like, hey, you don't want to play ball after Ultron, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Same with Edgar Wright, wasn't it, for Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to play ball, we've got creative visions, so yeah,
you
know what I mean. We've got
creative differences.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, we all got creative visions. So it's been long. We've been sat here for an hour 32 minutes, mate.
Yeah,
my brain is fried, and we've been continually drinking beer through the whole thing. It's become another drunk cast.
Yeah, but honestly though, like, I was so impressed by the entire movie, like the way it went from scene to scene quickly, but nothing was too long or too short.
Nope.
It had so many big moments that they kind of almost dealt with like casually.
Yeah.
Little nods here and there. The time travel was hilarious. Like, they allowed Thor and Smart Hulk to be really funny but really awesome. Thor was clearly depressed, but
could be funny with it, and you can laugh, but at the same time feel sad for him. And I don't care. Like, okay, yeah. At the end of the day, we're complete nerds when it comes to this thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be biased,
but
admittedly.
But
no movie's ever got me.
I am a nerd.
Feeling so many emotions.
If there was stuff I didn't like, I would pick it up.
Oh yeah, because the other side of that is like, oh, we don't just love everything that's got a comic book title to it.
God,
if
no.
anything, we're more critical of it. So, but when you get it this right, you get this sort of reaction from people like us. And yeah, like I was trying to say then, like I've never known any other movie that's made me feel so many different levels of emotion so quickly, and it all culminates brilliantly.
Into this,
and it's perfect.
Like I said, the culmination of 11 years of cinema, just the 22 films. Is it 22 now? Is it?
This is the 22nd. Yeah,
and
spot on.
It's spot on.
It's perfect. Final score:
12 out of 10. I have to give it more than 10.
13 out of 10.
Honestly, I know that sounds ridiculous. I feel like a 12 out of 10 is acceptable.
I feel like I gave Infinity War a 10 out of 10. That's better than that, so I kind of got to go 11.
11, yeah.
You know, like.
Can you go up to 11? Yes, you can.
In my official review, I gave it 10.
Yeah, well, it's an 11. Right, so just really quickly, I know we're way over. What do you see? I know they've left it with like a no future. So the main Avengers, you've got Black Widow's dead. Thor is fat and depressed now with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Iron Man is dead. Hawkeye's probably happy with his family.
Yeah, we didn't see Hawkeye again.
And Hulk is smart Hulk, but he's got one arm. Am I missing anyone out there?
No.
Cap is old. Cap's
gone.
So what
retired.
do you see? Right, so the Avengers, as we know, they are done. Like
yes.
Hulk might heal himself or become a different part.
I think from now on, the only Avengers you're going to have left,
or unless he gets Hulkbuster on his right arm.
Yeah, maybe. The only main Avengers you're going to have left is Hulk and Thor.
And I think Thor will sort of shit out.
Do their own thing.
Yeah,
I just think we may get another Thor and Hulk movie with Taika Waititi. We may get another. We'll get a Guardians movie that's going to have Thor in it. That looks pretty much guaranteed at this point. I just think they're going to be like celebrity appearances, and they're going to be the original ones that we can still have.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. But as far as the original core Avengers goes, you've lost Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow, so it's not happening again.
Yeah. Even
Hawkeye, I pretty much think
he's done.
He
went out, killed loads of people because his family went. And then he's come back and he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. He's not going to go, where is he?
No, he's just going to need to die with his family now.
So
grow old when die with his family.
So you've got that. So then you've got the new Captain America. So I really think, I do what you said about no more MCU films being announced after Spider-Man. So you're going to have Spider-Man Far From Home, which I think right at the end you get a Spider-Man scene where he links back up with, what's his face, his best friend. I can't remember his bloody name now. Ned. Links back up with Ned, yeah? And they're like, oh, hey, I reckon that'll be pretty much the start of Far From Home.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't think you're wrong.
No. And so I think they'll like link up and go on from there, and that'll be that film. But I really think that a lot of the next bits will take part on the Disney Plus. So I think the Bucky Falcon series will be massive because it's Falcon being Captain America officially announced and Bucky helping him out. So I think there will be them kind of crime fighting, solving hero kind of problems. You got Loki, who's now alive. Then he'll just be kind of like it's kind of like a what if Loki survived New York? Do you know what I mean? Like it'll be a side story sort of thing.
Yeah. Loki. I think they set up Loki's perfectly. To just be a complete alternate reality story, which is cool because then they're actually free to do whatever the fuck they want and not have to worry about how it affects.
Do you think they'll take a break from Avengers now for a bit and have these ads Guardians of the Galaxy?
I wouldn't.
Captain Marvel 2. Black Panther 2, not do any Avengers stuff for a while.
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get anything announced in a while.
You don't really have, apart from the new Captain America, you don't really have an Avengers. Like, Iron Man's little girl could become Ironheart, or that other person.
You've got Falcon's Captain America, you've got the Guardians, essentially. Their space side of it.
It'll be Space Avengers.
You've got Scarlet Witch.
Maybe, yeah.
You've got Black Panther. I think Black Panther, Spider-Man, Falcon America. Doctor Strange. Have I missed anyone?
What bit?
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
You've got enough Earth Avengers.
Yeah.
The ones that left, you've got enough to do a successful movie and give those characters more time now because they haven't been able to have maybe the time they deserve in previous movies, and they can be the main characters now and step up.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think there's two. I think like speculation for what's to come in the MCU is probably a whole other podcast in itself.
Yeah.
And we're at an hour 38 minutes now. So
that's an hour and 20 minutes over what we thought it would be. But no, honestly, like if you've listened to that and not seen the film, you're an idiot. this film has to break all box office records. I'm going to go see it again tomorrow, at least 2 more times for the next sort of 2 weeks. It's perfect. It's amazing, spectacular, fantastic. It's everything the MCU is and more. It's nods to the comic book fans. It's nods back to the MCU. They make other old films that weren't as important and great feel more important. You know, they did so much great stuff. They changed all of the main Avengers, because the good thing is everyone who was dusted came back at the same age.
Yeah.
Right? So Hulk has grown 5 years older and his family haven't, for example.
Well, that's a good point, actually. We was all well and good saying, oh, guys like Thor and Hawkeye survived and that, but they are all 5 years old. Not that Thor really ages.
No.
But you know what I mean? This is like, they've been through a lot more.
Yeah.
They are in a place where they're ready to be done now.
Yeah.
Whereas, even like Valkyrie, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, characters like that have been... Hulk, you know, they've all had to hang around for 5 years.
Whereas Spider-Man's still fresh.
So, basically, I think
Spider-Man's essentially is the same person he was at the end of Infinity War, apart from he died for a little bit.
Yeah. Basically,
You know?
basically, all the dusted characters are your characters going forward. Which was always going to be the case. We always knew that. That was expected. But, you know, it's just been confirmed, and that is our way forward.
Yeah.
But we still got a couple of the classic ones.
If we need to lean back on Thor and Hulk, we can.
Yeah,
and
I think if they've ever got a worry where like maybe they're worried about Doctor Strange not being able to hold his own in the movie because like his first movie wasn't overly it was successful. All the movies were successful. But what I'm saying is now you could use like Thor in the next Doctor Strange movie just to bring people into it more. You know what I mean? To bring in an audience.
Yeah.
And you've got those options of Thor and Hulk where you can throw them into other people's movies just to bulk it out a little bit and sort of, you know, bring in the audience, and hopefully then the younger characters can then take the places, and which, you know, I'm personally happy going forward in MCU now with like basically I would say personally Spider-Man, Black Panther and maybe Doctor Strange being our replacement for the 4 main ones.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Black Panther. Maybe a 4th as well, I can't think of. I think Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange.
Falcon Cap.
And Falcon as Cap. They're our new main 4.
Yeah.
To replace Captain America.
Because Spider-Man will be the new Iron Man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he'll have all his development over the next 10 years.
For me, he's got the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So he's replaced Iron Man. Falcon's replaced Captain America.
Black Panther's
replaced Thor.
Yeah, but he's not as powerful.
Yeah, but he's a king.
Yeah,
He's replaced that character. And if anything, I think it actually works better in a movie to not have a character that's too overpowerful.
I know a lot of people talk about diversity in the MCU, and there was a whole scene where they had like girl power in the big battle, which is cool because it's good they highlighted women, but it was like.
It was a bit on the nose, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit like there was no way all those women would meet up just to help each other out.
Yeah, it was a bit corny.
You know, like I know we always get men. I know it's like sexist. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm just saying it just didn't quite work. But anyway, they have the 2 of the main Avengers are going to be black, which is really really awesome. Like that's so good.
Yeah.
If they do this lineup, I think that's really cool.
Because it should have happened a long time ago.
Because in the comics, it's been happening. Like they got more gay characters and more black characters, which is what they need. They need to do that.
Yeah. We should have a more diverse cinematic universe.
Yeah, not just white male men.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming from 2 white male men.
Yeah,
you know.
But it's exactly what we've and now we've got, like you say, 2 black characters within. You know, what is I hope the main 4 going forward, and I think it will be. That makes the most sense. And I think when you look at like the popularity of something like Black Panther, where that he could easily be the face of the MCU going forward at this point, because he has, you know, the end of the day, Black Panther is the most successful single character in the MCU when it comes to, if you're looking at solo movies and the money each of those movies has made, Black Panther's the most successful one.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got to be the face going forward. Spider-Man's always been the face of Marvel anyway, so you throw him in there. Falcon's taking the shield, so that's, you know, the fact makes him in there, and Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is cool.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. He can do a lot of cool magic.
And he seemed really important between these 2 movies as well.
What I liked about lots of Doctor Strange's things, he has some really cool like battle scenes. Like in every movie, he kind
of steals the show, doesn't he?
Yeah, like he has some really awesome scenes where he just fucking unleashes his magic.
Yeah.
And it's so good, like it's so cool, you know.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, this film is it's amazing.
It's great.
It's great. It's fantastic.
I mean, you know that because it's a spoiler podcast, and you are watching it / listening to it, and so you know that, you know how amazing it is. But do you agree with us? like, let us know. Like, get
Yeah.
in touch with us on our Respawn and social medias. You know, you let us know if you don't agree with us. Did you not like this movie?
Yeah.
Let us know why. You know, we're always interested in knowing other people's opinions.
Yeah,
It's all
definitely.
well and good, me and you sitting here fucking, you know, completely losing our minds over how good this movie was. But I'm sure there's going to be people out there that don't necessarily agree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of like, I am interested in hearing those opinions, even if they're wrong. You know what I mean? And so please do let us know. Are we finished up here?
I think that's it. I can't talk any more about it. I feel like
You
I've
got all
watched
that
it.
off your chest.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it again. Like, put it this way, I'm excited to go see it again and again and again.
Me too.
I'm going to go watch it with my girlfriend, who she's not a comic book fan, but she's a big MCU fan. And I want to see her opinion of it and see what she thinks of it. You know, I can't wait to go watch that again. It was such a masterpiece of a movie.
It really was.
Yeah.
My favourite comic book movie of all time.
Yep.
Maybe my favourite movie of all time.
Yeah.
And that's after one viewing.
I said I need to see it a couple more times. You know, some like
Yeah,
Infinity
of
War,
course you do.
Infinity
Your
War changed
opinion
up
may
and down,
change.
down and up again. And I saw it second and third time, so I want to go see it again and again. So make sure, but I can't see. I'm never going to watch that and not enjoy it.
Put it this way: first impressions couldn't be any stronger.
Yes, I'd like 11
This
out of 10 at the moment.
is
12 out of 10.
maxed out on first impressions. It's brilliant. Right.
Yeah, so don't forget to check out Patreon/respawning, YouTube. Got loads of content going up every week now on the YouTube channel, which is there. It's all amazing stuff. And obviously our website, respawning.co.uk. We will keep bringing you podcasts and videos and written content.
And lots of Endgame related
Lots
stuff.
of Endgame related stuff, I
So-
imagine now. You know, we're going to be talking about Days Gone in the coming weeks because it looks like it's been slated, but we'll see what we think.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yes. Thank you very much. We shall be back in other podcasts soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.